Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleeds podcast. I'm Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great, despite we don't have our regular announcer here that announces when we're recording the
Yeah,
podcast.
lets
She's
us
she's
know.
on vacation,
She
but
lets us know when the podcast has started recording, and we're pretty sure it is. There's a chance, when you talk to Siri and when you talk to your Alexa
Mhm.
or your Hey Google, we've got the Hey Zoom, and
Yeah.
she goes recording in progress. Didn't happen today, but here we are. So Adam,
Mhm.
what's going on, bud? I got a little story to tell you. I know you got some Reese's. We've got a new Pope.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about the Pope. We always got a coaching story. I got a little coaching escapade I'd like to bring up.
Nice.
And then we've got a Mount Rushmore, and we've got Chelsea Handler's childhood that we get to talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's get started. What kind of Reese's you got this week, brother?
Well, we got two actually, two
Oh,
Reese's. Here's the thing: I'm not excited about either one of them.
I know what they are. You
I
found
bet you
them. I
do.
don't. I haven't
I
seen
bet
them
you do.
yet. My niece,
Yeah.
okay, loves candy, loves Reese's.
Sure.
And for my birthday, for Christmas, for probably 5 years now, maybe less than that. But since the podcast has been out and she knows we do this, she gets me Reese's constantly. It's all she ever gets me for. I get a big giant thing of Reese's something or other every year. And I love it because I get to eat Reese's all the
Of
time. It's
course.
not a you can't go wrong. She knows she can't go wrong. But she showed me yesterday. Is it the grape jelly, strawberry jelly?
It sure is. Reese's PB&J, grape and strawberry
Oh,
for
you've got
you.
I get a 4 pack.
You get a four
Two of
pack,
the I can tell you right now,
just in case you like them.
I'll love the grape.
You think so?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I'm almost positive.
Okay.
I'm gonna try the strawberry first. I hate when one of my biggest pet peeves
Yeah.
is when you go to a restaurant for breakfast and you get toast
Mhm.
and they bring you out this like square thing of jelly and it's got 4 holders and it's filled with apricot jelly, strawberry jelly, and there's 2 grape jellies in it.
Sure.
Before that thing hits the table, I visualize it real quick, give it a once over, and I say, "Can I get 8 grape jellies, please?"
Yeah.
I immediately just ask. I just need it. I need 8 grape jellies.
Okay.
Probably only really need four. I should probably just put one per piece of toast. But if
You
I've
like
got
what you
four
like.
pieces, if I put 2 grape jellies on each piece of toast.
You go only grape jelly, or do you do the jelly and butter?
Oh no, butter. I love butter.
Yeah.
I do butter and jelly.
Very nice.
Absolutely. Always butter. Always butter and jelly.
Butter and
100%.
jelly is fantastic on
It's
toast.
amazing.
Yeah.
Butter and grape jelly. I don't need any other
Yeah,
jelly.
I agree with you.
Why is there any other? The rest of them are preserves. I don't want a preserve. Don't give me strawberry preserves. I
Yeah.
want grape jelly.
I'm
I
thinking
want Welch's grape jelly.
absolutely. I'm thinking. I mean, does Welch's grape jelly, does that count? Is that actually a preserve as well? I think so.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just the
It
only one
doesn't
that
matter.
matters.
I
Yeah.
the only thing I care about. I've never heard of grape preserves. I've only heard of grape jelly, so this already smells like strawberry as
I
soon
can
as I
smell
opened it up. As soon as I opened it up, oh my God.
same.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to this one.
It's
That's okay.
I
I'm
the
doing this first.
strawberry flavor might be better than the grape flavor,
Zero
but
chance.
the fact that it's jelly, whatever this jelly probably substitute,
Oh boy.
probably
Wha-
byproduct is.
Whatever they have actually inside of here, like how somehow they can put a pretzel in soft peanut butter and the pretzel stays crispy. Like I mean, Reese's is doing some stuff you ain't supposed to do with food.
Yeah.
All right. You took your first bite. What's your first thoughts?
Hmm. It's not as noticeable as I thought it would be. I'm trying to look at it because I'm probably going to get grossed out if I look real close at it, but it's such a thin layer.
It's very thin, goes up the sides just a little. This is not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
it's still too much strawberry. Actually, I'm not. I'll tell you what, this is more like a strawberry, like because I love strawberry flavored candy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is a little bit more strawberry, like not taffy, but like what would be inside a strawberry gusher. I feel
Yeah.
like that's what this is,
Yep. No, that's a good call.
which is better than strawberry jam.
I guess. Yeah.
What is the difference between jelly, jam, and preserves?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't. Um.
I feel like jelly is unbelievable and delicious and just has sugar, sugar, sugar. Preserves are disgusting because they can last forever because they're
mm,
preserves, right? I don't know. And then
um,
jam, just depends on what kind of mood you're in, bub.
yeah. Jam is if you're listening to good music and eating it. All right. I mean, this is so hard. It's way harder to rate this than I thought it would
Mm.
be because it's not. It's more subtle than I thought it would be. I'm trying to figure out if
I'd
I
eat this.
like
I
this
mean,
or not.
I'll never buy it when I go to the store.
Right.
So if somebody had them, I'd eat them. I'm going 9-3.
Wow. Okay.
9-3.
9-3 for the
Way
strawberry.
better than I thought.
Yeah. I'll go. Mm, I'll go 8-8 on that.
8-8. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty low.
It is pretty low. Grape time. You're anticipating the grape to be much better than the
A
strawberry.
gazillion. I can't get this open fast enough, bro.
See, I'm not excited about either one because neither one of them seem like they're going to be great to
I
me.
just earlier today, I was trying to make a decision on what kind of sandwich I wanted for lunch. I was off work today, off work tomorrow, and I was trying to decide if I wanted peanut butter and jelly or if I wanted uh, um, I do like a toasted, like garlic toast with cheese, mayo, grilled ham, and 2 fried eggs.
Wow.
Yeah,
Sounds
delicious.
good.
I went with that.
Very nice. Can't go wrong with peanut butter and jelly, though. I still love a peanut butter and
Oh,
jelly.
I love peanut butter and jelly. Yeah. I don't even taste the jelly in this at all. Or the strawberry is so bold in my mouth still and in my nostrils.
Yeah, I should have brought crackers or something to cleanse the palate.
This is definitely better.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't taste the strawberry that much. I taste the jelly even less.
Way less. That's why it's better.
But it does change the taste of the whole thing enough where it's not,
Yeah.
it doesn't taste like a big cup.
No, it's not a 9.899 big cup.
No.
No.
Hmm. All right. Well,
I'm gonna jump up to a 9.4. I'm gonna go up
Hmm.
0.1.
Okay.
That's it.
9-4 on the Reese's PB&J grape flavor. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 8-8 on the grape too. I'm staying. It's okay. It's fine.
You taste less of it.
Yeah.
I would think that would be a good thing.
Um, I don't know. It's very hard to decide. Like, hmm. I mean, like, it's fine. It's not bad.
Sorry, Melinda, because
But
this might be
yeah,
the worst mouth eating we've ever done on the microphone.
I am chomping away on this mic.
Oh, I know mine was. I heard it in my ears.
I
Anyway, all right.
don't like. I ate one of each one in the
Mhm.
pack. I don't want the other
I
one,
don't either.
but
I'm
it's
gonna eat
okay.
it. I mean, I'm gonna eat the other one.
Sure. What else am I gonna do while I'm driving home? I mean,
Gotta stay awake somehow, man. It's like a 12, 13-minute drive.
yeah,
How long is it drive to get over here?
eh, 12, something like that.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
11, 12.
All right. So, Adam, so this weekend we play. Have you ever heard of Perfect Game?
Yeah.
The term. Did we talk about this at all?
Mm,
So I played in my
maybe.
first ever Perfect Game tournament.
Yeah.
It's called the Super 25. If you there's 24 of these tournaments around. They're like they're You don't travel to them. You have to be in a certain area to play in each one. So they try to get teams from all over the country. So if you win, you play in one big tournament with the other 24 teams or with the other 23 teams plus last year's winner.
Gotcha.
So looking at the teams that are in it, we've beat every single team in it. So there's five
In your region.
in my region.
Yeah.
There's five teams. It was a joke. We thought there would be way more. They thought this would be kind of a big deal.
How do you get invited?
Okay, so it's an invitation. It's invitational. Okay, this is an invitation. You want to know how you get invited? Go on their website and you click get invited.
Okay.
That's what I did.
All right.
I had to submit like my game changer record and what league I play in and all this stuff. Yep, that's what I had to do to get. I was, but we were invited. It was an invitation. We were invited. I mean, I asked to be invited. Does that count as an invitation?
I wonder if people get denied.
I'm sure because you're supposed to be a quote unquote AAA team or gold team or whatever, which we're not. We're a AA team. We're a silver team, but we have to play in gold because there's not enough teams in our league. Therefore, we are sanctioned U-Trip in that level.
Okay.
So when we go out of town and play in these big tournaments, we are forced to play at an upper level,
Mhm.
which we probably should not play in.
Well.
But around town, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So team that we're playing in our first game. So the first day got rained out. Okay, so Saturday's rained out. It's on turf, but it just rained all day. Like just because it's on turf doesn't mean you can play. You still have to, right? It's good because once it's done raining, you can play it right away. Not like you just play in the rain. We're not soccer. Like it's ridiculous. Anyway, so Saturday's rained out.
I got a soccer shirt on. Have some respect.
Oh, you bleed orange and blue, huh?
Yeah, I
Okay.
definitely do.
Okay, how many games you been to?
One.
Me too. And was it at the new stadium or the old stadium? I see a Hawksworth.
I got this forgiven blood.
Were you at UC
oh,
or
no.
were you at the new stadium?
Two. One at UC, one at the new
I've
stadium.
never been to the new place.
Huh?
All right, so go FC Cincinnati. That is soccer talk for the week. Hey,
You're welcome, Joe.
So they rearrange it to where instead of having bracket play after your two pool play games, there's 5 teams, you play bracket play, top 2 teams play in the championship. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody gets 2 games, 2 teams will play 3. So the first team, they tie because in pool play you can tie.
Okay.
If the time limit's up, they keep pool play moving, doesn't matter. The time limit's up, no new inning, game over. High score. So they have half a win and half a loss. We play what would be the worst team in our second game. But our first game, we play the team that just tied. We come out and it is tied going into the bottom of the 5th inning. Okay. As I'm walking out, this fella that works for Perfect Game, who's doing all these stats and doing all this stuff which is a joke, by the way, is behind this thing. And he goes, hey, or the umpire looks at me and says, hey, he said this is it. This is no new inning after this. So this is the last, this is all we're playing, just the bottom of this inning, and we're up. So we either win or we tie. That's all, the only 2 things that can happen at this point.
Okay.
Okay. You can win if we score a run, it's a walk-off because time's up. Or if we don't score any runs, it's a tie. Now, if I go 1-0 and 1, I'm going to be in the championship game because everybody else has lost the game. Those guys won't because they would be 0-0 and 2. They would tie 2 times.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's go. Cool. Works for me. And the guy back there, and I look at my watch. I'm like, man, it's only 12:30. I said, feels like that's a little early. I look at him. He's like, nope, that's what I got. Time's up. And I was like, okay, all right, works for me. I walked down to third.
What's the time limit on this?
Hour 45 minutes. We were
What
supposed
was
to start at like 11.
Okay.
I don't know if it started early or late. Like I said, that was a decent game. They tied, so they played the full hour and 45. Couple minutes to get ready, blah blah blah. I don't know when we started.
Okay.
Maybe a few minutes early, maybe a few minutes late. I honestly, nobody told me when we started. I didn't look. So I go down to third base. I can't remember exactly how it happened. Something to the effect of Parker walks, my son walks, uh, pass ball, gets a second, strikeout, one out, ground out. He moves to third, man on third, two outs.
Mhm.
Uh, Kid's a little wild right now on the mound. He's throwing a few pass balls, like balls getting by. It's a short backstop. Catcher's making some plays back there pretty quick. Um, when it bats, it's a brick backstop for about 2.5 feet, and then it's netting.
Okay.
So it hits that brick, it's bouncing back.
Hmm.
Hits the net, you got a chance. It'll die. You got a chance to go. So Parker's pretty slow. He's not super fast. However, ball gets by catcher, and in my head, I'm going, you're going home. We're either going to win the game or we're going to tie it, but we're getting out of here, right? Let's do it.
So
Send,
either way, you're in the championship.
yeah. Well, not necessarily. I still have to win my second game.
Oh,
I
okay.
have to win my
Okay.
second game, but that team shouldn't be in this tournament,
Okay.
straight up.
Yeah.
So I send Parker, slides into home. I thought he got under the tag. That he tug him on the chest. The pitcher tug, like the catcher threw it to the pitcher. Pitcher tug him on the chest. Umpire said he was up the baseline, so he tugged him on the chest. His foot never made it to the plate before he got tugged. Everybody thought he was in. That doesn't matter. Umpire's on top of the play. I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
It's bang bang, right? I don't care. I'm cool. I'm like, all right, let's go shake hands. Don't bother me one bit. Let's go. Other coach walks over and he's like, there's no way this is over. There's no way the game's over. We still have time. We have at least 10 minutes left. And he starts arguing. I'm like, nah, I'm just sitting here. And they all of a sudden he talked this old dude. He was like, I honestly, I don't know when we started. I thought that was the end of it. I thought that was time. Well, wait a minute. You just told the umpire that was it. I asked you earlier. I thought it was early, and now you're telling. And you told me no, that's it. You told me no, you had time. That's it. Now you're telling me you're not sure, and you're giving us 10 more minutes. Well, I didn't think I thought the inning would last a little longer than 10 minutes. They're in an inning that's lasted longer than 10 minutes in this game, bro. We've been moving through this game. It's 4-4. What are you talking about? You just told me you didn't know. Now you're telling me you had 10 minutes left. You're just saying that because the other coach. I'm 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 verbally talking to this guy, and they make us play another inning. I'm pissed. Where's the tournament director? Well, he's down on another field. Can you text him and tell him to come over here? I said, this game's under protest. I was told the time limit's up. I would have never sent him in that situation. I would have waited, taken a chance at a ground ball, scored the run. Because if we would have scored, we would have walked and shook. It was a walk off. We would have shook hands.
Hmm.
Now it's a tie. Now all of a sudden we got 10 more minutes. I'm beyond my belief. Okay,
So let me get some real quick straight.
ask away.
When the time limit's up, even if it's the top of the inning and they've just scored, that's the game. They
No, it's
win
not
it.
a dead stop. You
Okay.
cannot start a new inning after the time limit is up.
So you
So
still
we're
have
the home team.
yeah.
It's the bottom of the fifth. As I'm walking out on the field to go coach third, we are getting up to bat. He said time's up, which means that nothing else is going to happen after this half inning.
Right.
We can't start another inning, so they will not get an at bat.
Yep.
I send Parker. He gets out. Should be over. No tournament director coming over. I said, "Well, I'm protesting. What do I need to do to protest this game?" This kid's like, "I don't know. It's the first ever perfect game tournament in this brand new facility. Not brand new. They renovated it, and it's not in good shape at all.
Mhm.
Places. I mean, the fields are good.
Yeah.
The entire rest of the place is a crap show. Absolutely terrible. It's mud in the parking lot, complete and total mud everywhere. No rock, hardly any rock at all. They have giant patches of mud that they're supposed to have put a batting cage in and a bathroom and all these things that they never did. So it's just they just put orange fence around huge open areas of mud where foul balls continue to go into, which is ridiculous.
Jeez.
Besides the point, that Heroes Park didn't put on the Perfect Game tournament. Perfect Game puts on the tournament. So I want this. I'm like walking back and forth asking. I'm not throwing another kid that I would like. I need to save kids for the rest of these other games. I put a kid back out there, couple hits, couple runs, put it, and I'm like, screw it, put another kid out there who's a good pitcher, but he throws easy and he throws strikes. And he was up in the zone and he gave up a grand slam and a 3-run home run. They scored 12 runs
Whoa.
in the inning.
Wow.
So or maybe it was 13 because I think no, it was 12 because it was 17 to 5.
Wow.
I'm pissed. And I'm not doing that. I'm like, sorry, bud, you're out there the rest of this inning. Like you've got however many pitches. I mean, you threw 40 pitches in 2/3 of an inning or something. And I'm
Mhm.
like, that's a lot of pitches, bro, but sorry. And I'm not pulling them out and putting somebody good in. I need to do this. And if I win this protest, which I feel like I deserve to win,
Mhm.
protest, by the way, costs $100 to protest a game.
Whoa.
Yeah, if you want to protest the game, you have to pay $100 protest fee.
Is that just in this tournament?
A lot of tournaments are $50, but if you protest something, which is dumb, if I want to protest it, I should just protest it, and if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Maybe if I'm wrong, I pay 100 or
Yeah,
something. But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Um, so whatever. What I should have did was stopped and not let my kids go back on the field. That's what I feel. Maybe I should have done that. You tell me what I should have done. We go out, game's over. We don't score at all, so it's the game in the bottom of the sixth. Game's over. So that team goes 1-0-1. Okay. One win, no losses, one tie. There's a team that went 2-0. Okay. They're automatically in it. They know they're in it. And then our game, if we go 1-0-1 now, or no, we would go 1-1. So it wouldn't matter. We're not getting in. So I'm still trying to we go straight over to go start the other game. My kids are in a whole nother world. I'm in another world. Like I'm not myself. Uh, we go up 3-0, top of the inning, 3-run home run. We hit a 3-run home run. We go up 3-0. Um, the next two innings, we proceed to have 9 errors in 2 innings.
Wow.
Bottom of the first, bottom of the second, combined 9 errors. 9 errors. We lost 7-5.
Oh my gosh.
9 errors. We had one earned run.
9 errors and you only lost by two. That's pretty good. I feel
Oh,
like.
like I said, that team didn't deserve to be in this tournament, right? They shouldn't have been there. No offense to them. I love the coach is awesome. The kids are great. That's we beat that team 94 out of 100 times.
Wow.
So here we are. Here we are. I'm still trying to I finally get a hold of this guy who tells me he's the assistant coordinator. In my head, that's the assistant tournament director, right? Like what you're putting on this tournament, right? I said, well, this is what happened. Da, 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 da. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to make a call on that. I said, aren't you in charge here? Who's like they made me wait for you. I already started my second game. I should be coaching third right now, but I'm talking to you. And he's a super nice guy. I didn't yell at him. I got upset with him. I showed him how I was upset and what I was upset about, but I continued to. I'm not mad at you, bro. But yeah, at some point in time, if you're in charge, I told him you got to grow the balls and make the decision, right?
Oh wow. Yeah.
I just talking to him,
Hmm.
not yelling ever. Never yelled.
Oh.
One time I did yell because I was kind of being loud and yelling at the guy who at the beginning of this whole escapade, the guy who
The
was
umpire.
quote unquote not the umpire,
Oh.
the guy for perfect game who was keeping time, quote unquote keeping time, who was the one that told us originally. And I said something, and this mom from the other team, she said something to the effect of, "There's 10 minutes left." And I said, "That's not what he told me. I am so sorry. I did not mean to yell at you. I did it. It was that quick." I said, "I'm so sorry." She just kind of laughed because she yelled at me. And she just kind of laughed and like, it's all good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not mad. Like, I just want everybody to know I am not mad at anybody except this guy right here.
Yeah.
So they finally, so anyway, I talked to this guy. He tells me he's got to call somebody. He said the tournament director is currently in Michigan.
Okay.
So you don't have somebody on site for a perfect game tournament that can make a decision on something like this.
Yeah.
So he calls this guy, comes over to me, and he's like, "Man, I'm sorry. He said there's the way this went down. There's really nothing they can do. The umpire's in charge." I said, "The umpire's the one that told me there was no time left,
Mhm.
and he's going off of this. What's the guy's number? Give me his number. I call him. I'm on the field once again. I'm on the field coaching on the phone.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pissed. I'm pacing in the third base box, trying to like give steal signs. Leave a message for this guy. I need you to call me Chris Fawcett or Fawcett Lumber. Chris Jaeger Baseball, blah, blah, blah. So he calls me back. He's like, umpire is in charge of everything. The guy behind the backstop, he's just doing stats. He's not in charge. I said, well, I said, well, it's too bad you're not here to let these people know that because that's how they're running it. The umpire that guy told the umpire there was no time. The umpire told me there was no time. So if the umpire's in charge, he told me there's no time left too. And then they came back to that guy when he said, "Oh wait, maybe we have 10 minutes left." He's like, "Oh man, all right, I got to make it." Because now he's got to call this dude again.
I feel bad for this guy, honestly.
For who? The tournament director?
The guy who's like,
Oh, I totally feel bad for the guy on site.
oh,
On site for them.
are you, wait,
Who are you feeling sorry for?
the guy you just said, like, oh man, what do I do about this? Like,
Yeah, yeah, the one who said I need to call this guy in
okay,
Michigan.
so, okay,
You're talking about him,
I
the
got you.
assistant coordinator, he called himself.
Okay.
The one who I said you got to grow a pair.
Yeah.
Okay. 100% feel terrible for him. He told me straight up, he goes, dude, I would make this call, but I can't make the call.
Hmm.
I said, well, what are you here? What are you doing here? I'm just here to make sure everything goes smoothly. I say, it's not going smoothly,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
You're like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, if your hands are tied, I get it. But there's got like, you can't run a tournament and not have somebody that can make a decision. They're trying to play the championship game early. They want to play early because we're the only game playing. I said, nah, they should not be playing that game. I said, if I'm the Angels, I'd be pissed. I said, because I'm going to win this. I'm going to talk to this guy. We're going to win this game. And then I'm going to go over and say, y'all need to stop this. And we need to figure out exactly what we're going to do.
Hmm.
Okay.
Because then you guys would be,
I would be
you would be 1-0-1.
The other team would be just 0-2. They would have tied
Oh,
2 games. So we would
okay.
have been ahead
Right.
of them.
Right. Right. Right.
We would have played the 2-0 team.
Yep.
We lost the game 7-5. In the end, it doesn't matter. So I never did get to cause a scene. What should I have done in the game in that situation? Do you just continue to play and say, well, if that's what you're saying we got to do, that's what we got to do? Do you stop and go, I'm not throwing another kid. This is wrong. Bring me a tournament director. I'm protesting this now. I'm not putting anybody else on the field. You told me the game was over.
Yeah. You probably did what you probably should have done. I think just they made the call, so if the umpire's in charge, he ended up changing the call, but
That's
made the
so
call.
so that's the thing. The umpire's like, it's not me. He straight up said he's the one keeping time. I didn't do it. I'm not keeping time. And you
But
got
he had to
this
be
rum dum ding along ding dong who's just and I even walked over to him. I said, dude, this is rough for you. I get it. He's
Yeah.
like, man, I really am sorry, man. I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. I said, I know you, we both know it's all like, I get it. It happens, but I need this director to get off that other field, come over here. Like something's got to happen. This is in the middle of our 12 run inning. We're giving up right now.
Yeah.
I keep walking back over to this guy to have this conversation.
Did the coach talk the umpire or the timekeeper
The
into
timekeeper, but
oh,
who technically has nothing to do with time or anything.
you found out about
I
that
found out
later?
later, and I was like, well, if that's the case, the umpire told me the same thing, and you need to get these people on the same page because nothing here is being run that way.
Yeah.
It's a complete and total shit show here. They ran out of hot dogs. We didn't even play the first day of the tournament. They ran out of hot dogs before the last 2 games, before our second game went off. They ran out of all like hot dogs, hamburgers. They had a few hot dogs, but no hot dog buns. The last 10 hot dogs they gave out wrapped in paper towels. And we didn't play on Saturday. We were supposed to play Saturday and then bracket play on Sunday.
Boy, they really make this sound like it's a big deal because you get to go play, a
Dude,
national
tell
tournament.
me about it, right? It's perfect game. It's all over the internet, all this stuff. I've heard some bad things about perfect game over the last probably 5, 6 years. I would never play in another perfect game tournament.
Yeah, it sounds like I wouldn't either. I don't think you did anything wrong. I mean, I I I think
Should
it.
I have stopped and waited for for somebody if I'm protesting the game?
I don't know, because then that.
Because you always say I'm playing the rest of the game under protest. That's
Yeah,
how that's what you say in baseball. It's I'm protesting. I protest this player. I protest this. Whatever. The rest of this game is under protest. I'm
yeah,
playing the rest of this game under protest.
yeah. And if that's allowed, then I think you're fine. Then I think you don't hold everybody up and to wait for,
But
because it ended up
if I waited for another 5, 6 minutes and they never got on the field, we never started another inning, then maybe I could have got out of there with a tie.
maybe maybe
Maybe I should have caused a little more of a scene and been like, "Hey, what time is it? Is our time up now? Because then we'll go shake hands. We haven't
yeah,
started an inning yet.
yeah.
Hadn't been a pitch thrown.
Oh gosh, that's tough. Um, I kind of feel bad for everybody in this whole thing, except they just
And
messed
the
up.
other coach is a nice guy. The other coach that was there is a nice guy. He was fighting to get his extra time,
Sure.
which is what I would have done. I'd
Yeah.
have been the same way. He even came up to me and I'm like, "You got to understand what I'm. This is crazy, right?" He's like, If I were in your shoes, I'd be doing the same thing." He goes, "But you'd be doing the same thing if you were in mine." I was like, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
Like we were totally on it. There was no issues between the two teams whatsoever. It was 100% with this poor kid that was there for, and he's not a kid. I mean, I don't know. He was probably 20, 23, 24 years old. He was only there to keep stats,
Mm.
but somebody told him he was in charge of the time.
Oy. Yeah.
I haven't sent the email yet.
Okay.
It's been almost a week. I think it's time. Would you send something to this guy to explain everything and be like, I just want you guys to know that because we never should have lost to that team. If I can tell my kids to get that out of their head. I
Hmm.
can talk to them between every half inning. They had, I can do all these things, but you can't get it out of their head. I can't physically do it, right?
Yeah.
It never should have been there. That never should have happened. They're asking me questions. What happened? Is that a tie? Is it in the middle of the second game? They're asking me what happened. I'm like, just focus on this. Nothing matters if we lose this game,
Hmm.
fellas.
Yeah.
Nothing matters if we lose this game. And we lost. So I guess I take my own advice, right? Nothing matters because we lost the game.
I mean, it turned out that way, I guess. But did you already get to talk to the actual director? Or did,
Not until the fifth inning of the second game.
okay, but you did talk to him. Would you, if you sent an email, would it just be going over the same thing you already talked to him about?
I would just let him know. I want him to know everything in that. I want him to know every bit and piece of the park, the way the whole thing was run from top to bottom. Like I don't bitch
Mhm.
about anything. I've never sent any kind of email to anybody about anything ever in my life, good or
Yeah.
bad. But I feel like I got screwed. I feel like he needs to know. He does know, right? I mean, I told him. I don't know how far that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, that would just be hey, everything's over. It is what it is at this
I
point.
just want you
We're
to
not going to
know
go back and change it, but
I
this is
will
how
never play in another perfect game tournament again because of how all this went down. And I'll
Mhm.
explain it again, type it
Mhm.
all out again. Mention the park that they chose to run through, and just let them know there's that I will never play in a perfect game tournament again. How can you possibly have a tournament and not have a director at the field?
And I think I would lead with, first and most importantly, how do you have a different number of hot dogs and hot dog buns?
That's what
And
Aaron
I
said.
think
Aaron's first thing, she's like, I don't care about anything. Who orders hot dogs and hot dog buns and doesn't order the same amount?
and who doesn't order nearly like you had a game and a half worth of hot dogs for people?
Legit. No, seriously. They had 9 a.m. game, 11 a.m. game. That's how many hot dogs they had. They didn't have enough for the 1 a.m. or a.m. for the 1 p.m. game.
So
Or what should have been the 3 p.m. game.
honestly, what you just told me with the times, that's the people there. That's their fault because
Dude,
if
9
you're
a.m. The
eating
first game was at 9 a.m.
if
No,
you're eating 9 a.m. hot
they were
dogs,
eating 9 a.m. hot dogs. That's what I'm telling you.
yeah.
They only lasted so Aaron brought, I'm sorry, the second day started at 10. Wait, what was the first day? We were supposed to play at noon and 2. We ended up playing at 11 and 1. That's what it was. And the championship was at 3. So it was 11 and 1. Sorry. But they had a 9 a.m. game. We just weren't there for that. We played at 11. Aaron bought a ton of was trying to buy hot dogs for a bunch of the kids to have something in between games. And they ran out of hot dogs in between games.
So you got kids just holding hot dogs raw.
Legit. In a, no, they put them in a napkin, bro.
Well, you might as well take that napkin off of it because
You ain't eating a napkin.
no, man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, you might get far enough away from this and just let it go completely. But if you send the email, I know you'll be like, look, this is just for your information because Perfect Game has this good reputation, but our experience is this. And then after I talk to a bunch of other people who have had experiences at Perfect Game, they've kind of said similar things. Just want you to, since you're at another location, I just want you to know that this is what's going on at this turn. I'm sure that you would do that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that if you
Yeah.
send that email.
So irritating.
That's frustrating because
Dude,
you shouldn't have had to. Yeah, you were told you made a decision based on what you were
that's
told
my
by the
thing.
umpire.
I made a coaching decision based off of that.
Yeah.
I'm not telling him to go. I'm hoping my next batter, somehow with 2 outs, hits a base knock.
Yep.
I think it was a 1-1 count. Like that. There's a lot of pitches that can still be played after that.
Sure. Yep. Boy,
Oh,
that's
but I will tell you this, dude. There was a ball that bounced off. Parker was catching in the second game. Threw 2 kids out on the bases.
nice.
Parker's catching in the second game. Ball bounces off that little tiny wall. He turns around, picks it bare hand in
Hey.
the air, not even looking, turns around, throws a dart to third, nailed the kid at third.
Oh,
Nailed
you
him
got
at
the
third.
clip of that on?
No, I didn't have the video set up for that.
Dang.
Yeah.
Ah,
I was in a different world between the first and second game.
yeah,
The last thing on my brain was setting the camera up
that was the second
for the
game.
game. That was the
Yeah,
second
yeah,
game. My last thing that I was possibly thinking about
yeah.
was making sure the camera was on.
Sure. You're
I had a
trying.
few other. I'm trying to tie a ball game.
I get it.
So you know what I did on my record on Game Changer? I went in and I changed the score to 5-5. Like we tied that game. It shows them scoring 17 runs, or no, it shows them with like 17 hits or something crazy, but it shows the score is 5-5. And in the box score, it shows a 12-run sixth inning, and next to it says they have 5 runs total. I don't care. Screw it. That's bullcrap. I can do whatever I want on that.
There you go. Now, can the other team find that, look at that, and see that?
Absolutely. Everybody,
Yeah,
people. That's how it
but
is.
it doesn't matter.
You go in. Listen, it's like Game Changers, like Facebook stalking.
Okay. Yeah.
You go in there, you type it, you search a team, you click on them, and you see who they beat, what the score was. You look at their record. You can click on the box scores and do that. But it'll say 5-5 tie against RBI Reds, and if you click on that game and go to the box score, you're gonna see something a little bit different. Nobody goes into the box score day unless they want to see who the pitchers were and stuff like.
Yeah.
I go in. All right, I know this team and I know this team. The only way they were in that game is if they threw somebody good. Who'd they throw? Ooh, kid threw a good game. I got to look out. If number 16's on the mound, I know we're up against somebody pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have another pitcher on their roster. I'm good. We just got to get him out of the game.
Yeah.
Hey, boys, let's be patient at the plate today. Let's try to work the pitch count. We got Randy Johnson on the mound. Let's get him out of this game early and shorten up, throw a few balls in the right field. Let's get some knocks. Let's have some fun, right?
Yeah.
They got nobody behind him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in
Oh,
my headspace is still there. I came home, took a nap for like 2 hours.
wow.
Yeah. So that game was at what I say it was. It was at 1 o'clock, got
9 or
home at
11.
3. I probably got home about 3:45. Slept till probably 6.
Mm.
Got up, maybe 7. I think I might have slept till 7. Got up, ate dinner, put the kids to bed, went back to sleep.
Man.
Usually I can't go back to sleep if I take a nap.
Yeah.
It's terrible. If I take a nap, I'm up till 4 a.m.
Yeah. You felt, did you have this feeling? I'm just going to go to bed because I'm still so frustrated that I just need to get this day
Yeah,
behind me.
absolutely.
I've had those
Yes.
days too. I'm like, I don't even feel like going to bed,
I don't
but I don't want to be awake feeling like
I don't
this.
like this. I don't like anything about it. I'm
Yeah.
second guessing every single thing in the entire world that happened. My second guessing that happens at the end of tournaments and at the end of games and stuff is ridiculous.
You ought to see me driving home from our games, from like AAU games or any
Hmm.
team. I'm not kidding. I look insane. I am out loud talking
Yes.
about
Yes.
everything I should
Yes.
have said, everything I did say, everything I want to say to the team. I have these big speeches to the team
Yep.
that no one ever
No one
hears
ever
about.
hears.
I do that out loud.
I do it while I'm on third base. I had a kid the other day. I'm at third base and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, and he said, "What, coach? What'd you say?" I didn't say anything. He goes, "Oh, I thought you pointed at me and said something." I said, "No, I'm just talking to myself, man. That's where I'm at right now, bro."
I do. Your head gets so into what you're saying, you don't even realize that you're actually
Yep.
acting it out and saying it. Yeah. And then I'll catch myself and I'll be like, oh, this is weird.
Yes.
But I
Nobody
do it all
all the
the
time.
time.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I can't.
Well,
It is what it is.
I don't.
So this weekend we have the Mother's Day tournament. It's a
Oh, that's
Saturday
big.
only.
Yeah.
5 teams in it. Top 2 teams playing the championship. So you get 2 pool play games. Same thing. No bracket plays. We don't play on Sunday. That's Mother's Day. Uh, and then bombs for moms. And then the top 2 playing it. Adam, if I could tell you that this is like I this is a if we don't go 3-0, I might retire.
Really?
There's yeah.
You expect to win this thing?
Not like expect is not even a word. There is zero reason. And I
You
don't
guys are
ever
playing bronze teams, huh?
yeah, it's a legit, it's not a joke. I walk to the kids and like I'm always like, listen, man, you never know what's gonna happen. These dudes, they've got a couple good guys, you know who can hit, you know who can pitch, you played these kids forever. Tell them all that stuff. I told them at practice yesterday. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I expect to go 3-0 this weekend. I expect nothing less. If we don't win all 3 games, we need to completely rethink what's going on in this season. I just want you guys to understand that 14 errors in one weekend and 6 hits isn't going to do it. All right. So we need to figure out how we're going to adjust. And I expect to win all 3 games. I'm just telling you guys now. There is zero reason none of these teams should play with you.
Mhm.
If we lose the fucking first game, pardon my language. If we lose the first game, I'm gonna be so mad.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're.
At the beginning, when I saw this tournament, I was like, I'll get some pitchers in that don't pitch a lot. Now I'm like, screw it. 3 games. None of these teams have enough pitchers for 3 games. None of them. I can throw 5 games. I got enough pitchers to throw 5. Like I will be fine. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm gunning at it. I am gunning after this thing.
Good. I say you should. Now, is this going to be one of those tournaments that you are going to only hit 10?
Not this. No,
Or
this is
okay,
Mother's Day.
you'll
I
play
would
the
have
whole.
probably done it in this perfect game tournament, but everything got real weird where you played. The whole thing was just played on Sunday, so we hit 12 in bracket play, and we never played. Or in pool play, we never played bracket play.
Mhm.
So, no, I never got. That's probably the really honestly, that might be the only tournament we were going to do it in besides the early one in Dayton.
I gotcha.
So I don't know if we'll do it again or not, but this tournament this weekend, there's zero reason that the bottom of my lineup shouldn't be just as good as the top of my lineup in this.
Mm.
This is, I cannot express, like, you ever, like, it's like if the Yankees played the Dodgers. No, sorry. If the Yankees played the Rockies and then the White Sox, or the Rockies, then the A's. Probably Rockies and White Sox. Probably
Yeah.
right. And you're just like you okay, so you got to play, but for them it's series, right? Because they're all Major League Baseball players. You expect to win both series. Like
Mhm.
there's zero reason, there's no chance you're walking out of those 2 series and losing. Like you just expect to win.
Absolutely.
Can it happen? Absolutely, it can.
Sure.
And everybody's coming after us.
Hmm.
So we're gonna get all their best pitchers. We already know that. Like the kids already know what's coming. Like get used to it. You're gonna. There's only one championship game. They have to win against us in order to get to that game.
Hmm.
Good luck, boys. Like you know what's coming. Everybody's gunning after you.
Yeah.
If you make it to the championship, no one's got pitching left. So I'll have my best arm on. I told him the other day. I said I expect you to throw 30 pitches. 30 pitches. We should be out of this in 3 innings. I think it's 15 after three.
Mm.
We should be out of this. I expect to win the championship game in 3 innings.
Okay. Good. That's great.
I've
That's
never
a
been
good.
that. I've never been that kind of coach.
Yeah. You know what though? Like last weekend was so chaotic that maybe you do something like that, you know? You throw something different at them and you're like, "Look, we're too good to be having all these errors
Mm-hmm.
and losing to teams like we just lost to." You just fix it. Just
Mm-hmm.
like, we're going to come out next week a brand new team and or the team that we actually are and we're going to win.
Yep.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with that. Good job. I don't think yeah.
I feel like good job may not be the right word, but
I don't know. I don't know that I would change anything you did over that last weekend. I don't know. I think you're
I'm
fine.
still stewing.
I'll bet.
Still stewing.
I'll bet.
All right, talk to me.
Well, so
Oh boy. Oh boy. 11:23. Just so you know.
okay. We got 7 minutes
We got
to
7 minutes to finish
complete
this thing up.
everything.
Yes.
So speaking of baseball, they're a big part of the Catholic Church or Cardinals fans apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Because no, they're called Cardinals.
Yeah,
They call them
yes,
Cardinals.
they're St. Louis or Arizona. I'm not sure.
It got to be St. Louis.
Yeah, got to
Yeah,
be baseball, right?
baseball.
They're
Got
not
to be
football. Yeah,
baseball.
football is just America.
Right. And speaking of Americans, first of all, dearly departed, uh, uh, rest in heaven, Pope
John
Fr
Paul the 13th,
Pope Francis.
Pope
Yeah,
Francis.
Pope.
John Paul the 13th was when we were kids. He was
Yeah,
pope for like 700 years, wasn't he?
yeah, I think so.
We've had like six popes since him.
I just saw this yesterday, or maybe today. There have been 267. I think this is the 267th Pope,
Jeez, Pete.
which is way more than I thought.
That's
Also, out
crazy.
of 267 popes, assuming that's over like 1,000 years, um, this is the one that just got elected to, or whatever, however they do it, and then they do the white smoke. Um, first
First ever.
American.
First ever American. Yeah. I mean, did you look up anything about him? First ever American, spends like 98% of his time was it in Peru or something like
Yeah,
that, or
something like that.
Portugal. Born in Chicago.
Born in
My
Chicago.
man doesn't do much.
I hope he's got that Chicago. I would love if he had a Chicago accent.
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
But anyway, yes. So I think they're calling him Pope Leo the 14th or
So here's
something
my
like that.
question. I I don't understand why they don't just use their name when they're the Pope. And especially like why we got 14 Leos now.
Yeah,
What's up with that?
I don't
Dude,
know.
why do we need like you're confusing everybody? Get
Yeah.
off the Leos, get off the John Pauls.
Yeah, too many John Pauls.
Yeah.
Uh, I agree. I don't know why it's that way. I don't know if you got to pick your favorite saint or your favorite
It's a
church
lot
in
of people.
Fairmount
Yeah.
or what. I don't know, but you do have yeah, I have no idea how they do that, and I haven't looked it up, but that does seem like something we would have found out at some point as growing up Catholic, but
I just
I have
love
no
that
idea.
that apparently like Netflix or Hulu just came out with a movie or a series about the Cardinals and how they like it's a drama about a
Wow.
pope dying and electing a new pope, and it's a lot of behind the scenes, you know, cardinal priests, bishop people talking to each other and like, make it look a little slimy the way they elect them, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a
And it might be.
yeah, it's just crazy that that happened and then this happened like it was like a month later, not even a month later.
I would like to watch a documentary about that, like the legit story about how
I
all
don't
that
think they got any
works.
cameras or anything in that thing. There ain't
Probably
nothing in
not.
there, man. Shoot,
Yeah.
everybody just out there with a camera on the old chimney cap.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I saw a video. There was like a the smoke started coming out and there was like a seagull or something
Yeah,
right there and it
yeah.
started blowing in its face or something like that. It made it fly away.
And they do a different color at the end of the day if they haven't decided yet, too.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that's
like
right. I
there's
remember
a
reading that.
because it can be multiple days. When old Francis got picked, dude, it was like a week, and everybody
Was
sit
it?
out there, and then whatever time I watch, every once in a while, it wants to know about the strawberry sampler.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Well, the strawberry sampler is actually it's part of what Reese's is doing these days with
exactly.
anyway. Uh,
Anyway, congratulations, Pope. What's his actual name?
Robert something.
Why can't it just be
Why can't it be Pope Bob?
Pope Bobby?
Why can't it be Pope
Yo,
Bobby?
Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah. He comes out on the thing overlooking the people and he's like, I'm Pope Bobby and I mean I'm Pope Bobby. What's the Chicago accent? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, all I would do is go into New York. I don't know. I have
Yeah.
no idea.
No, I keep thinking about the Bulls guys from Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
Boss.
Their
Yeah.
their accents. That guy.
Ditka.
Um, all right. Listen, speaking of Chicago, Chelsea Handler's from New Jersey. No, no, sorry. Mount Rushmore of worst civil service duties. We're both getting our phones out because I'll tell you, I had a way harder time with this than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I figured it'd be like, what is the worst thing cops have to deal with? What is the worst thing firefighters have to deal with? What is the worst thing, whatever? And I'm looking all these civil service jobs up and all that, and I couldn't really. There was like a let's see. I found something that gave like a list of the most difficult civil service duties, but it just kind of yeah, see, even this is actually even a little different than I
Air traffic controller apparently
yeah,
is on there.
especially lately.
You got, yeah, firefighter, social service director, the old foreign language teacher. I don't understand why that's on there. I don't know, bub. I don't
Yeah.
know.
There are a lot of things I didn't even realize were considered civil service.
Right.
That's another thing is like, yeah, people that work in what's it called? Where you go um you go to like people's houses that have like issues, drug issues or parenting
Yeah,
issues or
like
something like that. And
like the social service people. Yeah.
yes, yeah, and deal. I'm sure those people deal with a lot of crazy stuff. Um, but I don't know. It was way harder than I thought it was going to be. Um,
So social services director. That sounds bad. How about an urban planner or just a social worker?
that's what Theo Vaughn got his degree in, urban planning.
Did he?
Yeah,
Aaron got it in sociology.
there you go. Yep. Uh, so I have. Let's see. I'm going with. Here's mine.
Okay.
Um, most difficult duties: security and intelligence. Okay. Um, these positions involve dealing with sensitive information and complex threats, requiring a high level of discretion, professionalism, and analytical skills.
Mm,
All right, that would be mentally taxing.
I'm not very analytical.
Yeah, I'm going disaster relief and emergency response. You're dealing with people going through the worst things of their lives when there's a natural disaster
Yeah.
and people getting out, being displaced from their homes and uh, things like that. We've seen all kinds of crazy stuff. People complaining about, there was a hurricane and a bunch of people were kicked out of their houses, and they've got these like really awful camps and gyms or something like that where they just got people
Yeah,
sleeping
like
on top of each other and
I
no
mean,
food and
what was in New Orleans when all that went down with Katrina? They were staying in the Superdome, and it was just a big, giant, smelly room of people, probably.
yeah. Yep. This says civil servants in these roles must be able to quickly assess situations, coordinate resources, and respond effectively during crises like natural disasters or public health emergencies. That would be very stressful to me. How about roles requiring specialized expertise, like FDA and other regulatory agencies? Here's the thing. I'm just reading.
I was gonna say, are we choosing this as
Yeah,
one or what?
this
Okay,
is it. This is
okay,
this is number three for
okay.
me. These positions require highly trained individuals with specialized knowledge in fields like medicine, statistics, and law. So, like the FDA's work is complex and demands expert personnel who could potentially earn more in the private sector. What's the private sector? I've heard it plenty of times. Don't know what it is. Number four, working within a political environment. That's the worst thing to me now because
That's number one.
that's number one.
Number one is the president of the United States.
Sure.
That's the number one worst job ever, civil service job, and that's my number one.
There you go.
President of the United States,
I'll go.
the highest political thing there is, absolute worst, zero chance I'd ever want to do it. Half of the world will always hate you. You can't
Yeah,
make half of the world happy. Doesn't matter what you do.
exactly. Yeah, and there are a bunch of jobs that I was looking at earlier, civil service jobs that involve dealing with politics and politicians that you have a certain responsibility, but you also have to go through the political parts of your area or whatever and deal with those people who have different agendas than you do and have to like figure out how to make it all work when people have like extremely different opinions and they're all trying to get you to do something for them, but they oppose those things oppose each other. So you have to figure
Sure.
out what to do.
All the stuff you just said, sure.
It's just all politics. We know that politics stink. That's our position here on the
Nosebleeds
Nosebleeds podcast.
podcast.
That's four for me.
I'm going to go with the president of the United States.
Yep.
I think that is the absolute worst civil service job you could ever have. I'm going to go with police officer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no fun. I mean, I'm sure that 98% of the time it is, but yeah, no. Or where you are a police officer and that stuff, but no,
Mhm.
no, I don't want to be a police officer. I think social worker is on mine. That's like you said earlier. That's got to be some of the worst things in the entire world. Guy across the street from me, he deals with kids and in the social working side of the world, and you see some of the worst stuff you could ever imagine.
Mhm.
And then fourth, I was gonna say a firefighter, but in all honesty, man, them dudes like they don't do a ton all the time, man. My dudes sit around, but they cleaning trucks more than they fighting fires. Nah, I'm kidding. I got a lot of I got a lot of good buddies that are firefighters. One of my really, really good friends, firefighter, EMT, whatever that is, they combine and I've had multiple times where I've called Ron, like, okay, check this out. What do I need to go to the hospital? Do I need to take her to the hospital? Does this need stitches? Or whenever he's hanging out, we talk about doing stuff, and he's like, yeah, maybe not a good idea, bud. So those guys also have to walk onto crash sites and into homes of ODs constantly and everything. They
Mhm.
see. I had a buddy that I lived with, and he was a firefighter, EMT, and he was an EMT, and then became whatever you start off as like an EMT, and then like you become both. I don't know how it works. Maybe.
Mhm.
Anyway, he would come home. I think I've told a story before. He would come home. He'd go down to the basement. I lived down in their basement in a little room under the steps. It was like Harry Potter. And he had, it was back when plasmas first came out. Plasma
Sure.
and HD was brand new. He had this big, giant 40-inch HD plasma TV in his basement. And he come downstairs and he always come downstairs. And he come down and he put a beer down. I come out and he'd be watching cops. He always have a beer. And he opened a beer up. If he opens the beer up, and sits mine right there next to him, and not open, then I go over, I open it, we sit down, we watch cops. He goes up, done. I come down. If the beer was open, if he had opened mine, and there was another couple sitting, and then because he had a fridge down there, I knew that if he opened it, it was time to talk. We could talk. It was just a
Mhm.
normal day. But if he didn't open it, you don't say nothing. We don't talk about it. Not how's your day. Something bad happened. We just
Yeah.
watch cops He chills and he says, "All right, man, I'm going to bed. All right, bro. Talk to you later." And that'd be it. That'd be it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good that you figured that out though.
Yeah, we had a little
Yeah.
system. We had a little
Nice.
system.
I like a
But
system.
those dudes get it. So I'm going to put firefighter on there. EMT, firefighter, the guys that are first on the scene people.
Yeah.
Cops, first on the scene people. President of the United States, social worker.
Great. Good job. Let's see. Chelsea Handler.
We're
Um,
doing well. We're doing well. It's only 11:37.
okay. Okay.
I think we can do Chelsea pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
It's okay. You didn't have to. I don't
We're
know if
gonna
people can hear my watch, but it goes off constant. It doesn't do this during the day ever,
really.
but it talks to us down here constantly.
It feels like we're saying Siri, right?
Yeah, but this doesn't
It's
this
not a
doesn't do
Siri.
it. I don't think you say hey Siri to this. Oh,
Oh
just
yeah.
kidding. Yeah, you can.
There
I don't know, maybe my
you go.
um Chelsea Handler. Not sure. It's the new Netflix special. What's it called? You got it written
The
down.
feeling.
The Feeling.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, you know who Chelsea Handler is, right? I mean, it's a whole lot of that. She just goes and starts talking about how she started helping herself out, get a little good feeling times when she was,
Far younger than I would expect
yeah,
anybody to
I
do that.
mean, I've got little girls that are 9 now. Everybody's starting to put bras on and they're starting to, you know, one of them I tell every day, like, girl, you got to start wearing that little training bra all the time.
Hmm.
But as they get, that's a girls go through that stuff way earlier
Yeah,
than
I guess
boys.
so.
Way earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, they go through puberty earlier for sure.
Yes, way earlier. So,
Yeah.
yeah, she likes to talk about this, she had a friend hooked her up with a cigarette and she's 11 cigarettes and beer and she had her own business.
They had a system.
They had a system. They
Yeah.
had a system, and then the system changed, and she did not like the system.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, okay, so let's just get to the brass parts of this.
Hmm.
How much laughter? How funny was it? Because that's what it comes down to.
Right.
Again, didn't laugh a ton during this. It's a lot of long stories, right? But every now and then she would get me on a little part of something, and I get a pretty good little chuckle out of it, right?
Okay.
But some of it was like you said, it's like, man, I want to hear about a 10-year-old doing this stuff. I want to hear about
Yeah.
11-year-old. I don't want to. I got 9-year-old little girls, man. I want to hear none of this stuff. Um, so that's a little more difficult for me, maybe having that age kids.
Hmm.
But no, it.
Yeah, I have a 9-year-old niece, and I was like, nah, I don't see any.
Yeah,
I don't see anything like that.
nah. Well, she was raised a little different.
Yeah,
Chelsea was raised a little different.
she was.
Um, anyway, I don't know, man. This is a tough one for me because I don't think it was bad. I don't think she did a terrible job.
Hmm.
I thought, again, when you talk about storytelling and all that stuff, she timing, she's been doing this for a million years. She
Long
knows what
time.
she's doing.
Hmm.
She's got the timing. She's not nervous up there. There's no nothing there. It's a lot of stories and the Andrew Cuomo story was actually kind of funny. I kind of got a kick out of that stuff. That was really good.
She dropped a lot of names in this one.
She always has been that way. When
Yeah.
she had the Chelsea Lately that show on, she talked about the her stuff with old Curtis, talking about 50 Cent back in the day, they had their little fling and
Yeah.
she don't care. She talking about whatever. She also hooked up with Joe Coy there for a little while. She threw both of them into one of the jokes.
Right
That
up
was
front. Yep.
hilarious. That was she talked about, if you wanted to experience it for the first time, uh, definitely not with a 50 Cent, but Joe Coy would be okay.
Get
That
you-
was
get yourself a medium to small guy.
so anyway, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm gonna go ahead and get because that was kind of good, and the stories with her brother and George W. Bush, I thought that was really good. Um, I think I'm at this like 3.2 number.
Okay.
I don't think I'm. super high, but we always say if it's a 3, yeah, go watch it.
Sure.
4 is like, dude, that was killer.
Yeah,
4 and above is killer.
absolutely.
If it's above a 3, go watch it. Definitely go watch it. It's good enough.
Yeah.
Below a 3, it's like, that's my rating scale at least.
I'm with you. And I agree with everything you said. I know we're not supposed to do this, but I did it last week with Tom Green. I gave him maybe a little extra because I like him.
Yeah.
I probably did. I might have done the same thing with Chelsea Handler. Didn't love her last couple just because it was just too preachy and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and
And
this wasn't super preachy.
I agree. This wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to
No,
be. To be
not at
honest,
all. Yeah.
I didn't dislike it as much as I thought it would. So I was trying not to let my past experiences with her poison that. Um, but I went with a 3. I was at
What
a
is
3
going
flat.
on with you in these flat numbers?
I don't know where that came. Like I thought we've always given flat numbers whenever they were a flat number. I don't. I don't know.
So
I
disappointed in the
didn't
point
know.
zeros.
I didn't know we ever. Did we ever talk about not
I,
doing flat numbers?
no, never,
Okay.
never,
I don't know.
never.
I'm not
I
sure.
just like if we're doing points, I like it. Like I don't feel like anybody deserves a 3. You're a 2-9 or you're a 3-1.
um,
It's like the hook when you're betting, right? On a spread. There ain't no tie. You didn't just make it. There's no tie. You either win or you lose. It's a 2.9 or a 3.1.
you're okay.
I
You're
want you
thinking
to
of
tell me, is this
that's
above
where
a
that
3?
comes from.
Is this above a 3? Is this above where I would say, yeah, if it's above a 3, I'd tell you to go watch it.
Gambling has made you dislike even numbers.
Yeah,
I get
I don't want an even number.
it.
I don't want to. I'm not betting a 3-point spread. I want a 3 and a hook.
3 and a hook. You know what? I'm staying at a 3.
Yeah, I know you would. Adam is going to be at 2s, 3s, and 4s for the next year just to
I
make my brains.
I feel like I give decimals all the time.
Yeah, I doubt it, but
You think
okay.
so?
Well, you have lately.
I mean, something there, not
Yeah.
point zeros. I feel like I give point
Oh
ones
yeah,
and
yeah,
twos
yeah.
and
I
threes and
feel like you
fours.
do those most of the time. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
me too.
100%. I feel that way.
All
Except for lately, when all of a sudden you're giving 3s to everybody.
right. Well, do better than a 3
You're
or worse than a
average.
3.
You're average. You're average.
Yeah, everybody's average. All right.
I thought you already had one. I'm not gonna lie to you. I After watching Chelsea, my first one popped up.
I thought, yeah,
Tim Dillon popped up on mine. I thought for sure
I
that
was
was who
thinking,
you were gonna.
did we not do that one?
I haven't
Okay,
watched Tim
okay,
Dillon.
okay. Because that was the first one I thought of, but I was like, oh wait, did we already do
We have
that?
not. I thought that it was pretty new because it still says recently added on
Yeah,
there, and it popped up after I watched Chelsea.
good. Then that's what we're doing. Because yeah, I really did think that. Did we? I was thinking.
When I
Did we
saw that, I
already
was
do
like,
it?
Adam's definitely picking Tim Dillon,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
without a doubt.
Absolutely. Okay. Tim Dillon. For some reason, my brain said, and we might have already done that, but we have not.
Means you've already watched it.
I don't think I did.
Oh, okay.
No, no, no. I don't think I did. Um. Okay. I'm trying to remember what that was called, and now, of course, it's not popping up like it normally does. But the new Tim Dillon special on Netflix, whatever it's called, chubby,
That.
chubby guy with
Yes.
podcast. Tim Dillon, and then the Mount Rushmore of um Tim Dillon specials. No, no, no. Let's see the Mount Rushmore of ooh. How about the Mount
Mount
Rushmore?
Rushmore of comedy specials would be
We
insane.
of course we've done that, right?
I mean, just you got to pick the 4 best comedy specials
Have we
ever.
not done that? I feel like we have had to do that.
Maybe we
That was,
had because I remember there was one where Raw was in there from Eddie Murphy and something like that. But
yeah. I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know that I could do it.
I just yeah, I know. Yeah. It would
I
be
have to choose four.
impossible.
I haven't seen so many that it
Yeah.
would be unfair to.
Well, yeah, just the ones you've seen, I guess. But even then, we've seen so just on this pod, we were already big comedy fans before this podcast, so we've seen tons.
Yeah,
And then we watch at least one every
every
single
single
week.
week.
It's impossible to pick from those. I would end up going back to like old ones that I liked when
Yeah,
before we even started doing
yeah.
this, I think. Okay. But let's do the Mount Rushmore of have we ever done minor league mascots? Seems like we would have done
I
that.
I feel like we might have done that. However, that might have been one of the first ones we ever did. I'm totally in for revamping the minor league mascots. I'm 100% in for that
All right.
because I know I have a hat of one that's my favorite, one of my favorites now.
That the biscuits or
Oh, I love the Montgomery biscuits, and I had a Montgomery biscuits hat. No idea where it's at when I was a kid. Because not a kid. I turned like 18, and I decided I was gonna buy every funny hat I could. I just wanted to buy every 5950 New Era baseball hat I could find.
yeah.
And the biscuits were one. I had a Durham Bulls hat. No idea where that thing's at.
I feel like everybody had a Chattanooga Lookouts hat when we were
I've
young.
never had a Lookouts
I
hat.
didn't either,
Never
but
had a
it's
Lookouts hat, but I do have, which is one of my favorite ones, the Rocket City Trash
oh
Pandas.
yeah,
It's got a panda in a garbage can.
yeah. Yeah.
Love that. Not a panda, a raccoon. Sorry, raccoon in a garbage can. Trash pandas. That's what they
So
call raccoons.
so then are we talking logos or are we talking name? Let's talk names.
Name.
Names?
Oh, I'm talking. I was talking mascots.
Yeah, yeah. That yes. Well, okay.
Yeah, I mean it's the trash panda is their mascot,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Minor league.
Or what are you talking about?
No, yeah. I think it's pretty much the same thing, you know? Yeah. The mascot slash name of the team, right?
Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, like the
yeah.
Cincinnati Reds is Mister Redleg.
Yeah.
So
Okay, yeah.
you know what I mean? That might be a little different, but
Yeah.
like the Montgomery Biscuits is a biscuit.
Yeah. Do we do specifically names? Let's do yeah,
Mount Rushmore of
minor league baseball teams.
names, teams,
Yeah.
team names,
Yeah.
minor league baseball team names,
Right.
100%.
Minor league baseball team
Which
names.
is gonna go, which is basically their mascot anyway. But you know, everybody's got a name for their mascot these days. Like, why can't it just be
Right.
the biscuit,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
Xavier's
It's
just got
gotta
a blue
be
blob, man. They
right.
just got a blue blob.
Yeah.
And why are
It's
we the Musketeers? Why's it got to be D'Artagnan? D'Artagnan's not even one of the three Musketeers. Did you know that?
I didn't.
D'Artagnan was the fourth Musketeer. If you
Oh,
read the book,
I
he was the
didn't
fourth
know.
Musketeer.
Wow.
He's the most famous of all the Musketeers because so whatever happened to him, they became the three Musketeers. But D'Artagnan, when is apparently the most famous Musketeer.
I was gonna ask if that was in the movie with Steve Martin and Martin Short and whoever else was the other guy, but that's the Three Amigos,
It's the
right?
three amigos.
Okay. Different,
Totally
different
different. Totally
trio.
different. Yes, different trio.
Okay, that's it. We got Tim Dillon, the Netflix special. That
Chevy Chase was Chevy Chase in that?
Chevy Chase. Who did I say? Was Steve Martin not in that?
No, I think it was
Steve
Martin
Martin,
Short. Ooh, was Martin Short not in that? Chevy Chase was in it. I feel like Chevy Chase was in it. Steve Martin was definitely in it. Wasn't it
maybe
Martin Short that was with him?
maybe
Or have I
Martin
just seen
Short
so many
wasn't.
Martin Short,
I know.
Steve Martin
Same.
commercials
That might
lately
be
for
what
that
I'm.
stupid credit card
Yeah.
that I can't figure?
That might be what I'm thinking of. Anyway, okay. How do we
11:50, 20 minutes over, bro. Hour and 20 minutes. I feel like we killed that.
yep. Yep.
But
I'm so
we are also going to sit here um whilst
hmm
I like that word. It's one of my favorite words.
Yeah.
We're going to sit here whilst I look up who Geez, the internet in
Who's the
the
cat?
internet in this house is the worst.
Which is why we are recording this.
Let's go.
Oh,
Let's go. Come on. Chevy Chase,
yeah.
Steve Martin, Martin
Martin Short.
Short. First try, baby.
Wow.
Let's go. I don't even watch movies.
I,
I'm not a movie guy.
I've never seen it, I don't think.
You've never seen? Oh, that's one of the few movies I have seen.
Really?
Yeah, that's a really good one. Huh, huh, huh. They got some stupid little thing they do. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Giant hats. Okay.
In order, your favorite among those three.
Chevy Chase. That's tough. In order, Chevy Chase, mm, Martin Short, Steve Martin.
Okay.
What's yours?
Martin Short by far first for me. Probably Chevy Chase and Steve Martin in that order, but really, really close on the other
I
two.
feel like Chevy Chase is my favorite, and the other two are pretty close. But I would put Martin Short above. Martin Short does some funny, um, like, what's it called? We dresses up as different stuff. Like he's good at
Characters.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
Jiminy Glick is the
oh
funniest
my
thing that's ever been made. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. We got it in at an hour 20 and we're good to go.
Thank you, Adam. That was well done. I feel like we keep this thing under an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm happy. Let's shoot for an
Yes,
hour
sir.
and a half or
Let's
for
shoot
an
for an
hour.
hour. Yeah.
Shoot for an hour. Keep it under an hour 45. It's a win.
Absolutely.
Tim Dillon, what's it called?
His Netflix special.
His Tim Dillon's recently added Netflix special. Just look for the little red recently added at the
Yeah,
bottom. You'll be fine.
you'll see it.
2025. Um, Mount Rushmore of what did we
My
choose?
minor league baseball
Minor league
team
baseball
names.
team names. Yes. Until next week, hopefully, hopefully we come home with Mother's Day rings for Mother's Day. I can't wait to let you guys know how the expected to go 3-0 went.
Don't forget to pull your microphone off.
Don't forget to turn your lights off. Something. Something, turn your lights off, pull your microphone out of its